y'all, and welcome back to the simple pleasures of Rune Factory. In the last episode, we finally got all of the animals we quote-unquote need to start making Levelizer. However, we were not able to secure the tools that we need to make the items to make Levelizer. And I mean, of course, in addition, we probably want to increase our medicine skill. But we've been working on that. We've been making potions. That's good enough. You know, so maybe today is the day that we finally just, I don't know, make like 1,000 potions in a row. Does that sound like a good asterisk idea? No? Well, precisely. Oh, and if we look at the medicine recipe list, what is a medicine that we can just make nice and easy? You might notice that the game seems to be lagging just a little bit. And the reason for that is pretty simple and frankly not actually worth legging myself out like this. Okay, easy enough. So for the past few days, maybe about a week or so. Oh, by the way, also, y'all, Happy New Year! Woo! Episode comes out, like, on the New Year. How nice. Oh, need to brush. Wait. Yeah. Need to tend to our crops, need to tend to our animals, need to farm medicine levels. Just to find like some sort of decently low level medicine I could just keep making like infinitely. Anyway, right, personal news stuff time. Azura and I have been playing a lot of Minecraft lately, specifically Stone Block 3 on a server so we are able to play together. I recently, more or less made a discovery of two specific, I want to say mods that are in Stone Block 3 that I've been having a lot of fun with lately. One of them is the sky block. You put it down and no matter how you look at it, it looks like you're looking through every block in the world, and you can just see the sky on the other side. So, like, you cover a ceiling, and it looks like it's just open air outside. You can see the sun. You stand on one of these sky blocks, and you just look like you're just, you know, looking down, not through the void, but not into the void, but through the void to the moon on the other side. Because if you never noticed it before, the sun and the moon are always, maybe rendered in Minecraft, just on opposite sides of the sky from each other. It's pretty nifty when that happens. Like when you can see both. I was thinking ahead. It's pretty nifty when you can see both the sun and the moon in the sky, like, at the same time. So I made a giant area, 100 blocks by 30 blocks, and I covered the ceiling and walls in sky blocks, so frankly, it looks like you're it almost kind of looks like you're outside if it wasn't for the giant stone floor. But I plan on making the floor out of grass, dropping it down by a few levels, so you're just basically in a nice, big, open field. It's just a random door leading back into our main hub of a factory. Yeah, I spent basically all of yesterday, not recording like I'm supposed to be, but instead just... Actually, you know what? If I close out of Minecraft altogether... Oh, heck yeah, this runs so much better. Okay, right. So, See, I mean, it's stone block, right? There's just stone all over the place, so you just dig out the space you need for a thing, plop down the thing, carry on, and you just basically just use that thing. But I decided, you know what? You gotta be the beauty you want to see in the world. Azura's not going to make the whole place nice and pretty, so I went to do it myself. Put down nice glowstone floors with carpet over them, so that looks nice. I am tempted to replace some of that glowstone with ice, so we might be able to, like, run back and forth through the base faster. That is at least an idea. Maybe I'll work on that later today or tomorrow or something. The entire central hub area, which was getting a bit claustrophobic with all the machines and stuff as I kept putting down, I decided to change out for a nice, not like huge, but kind of big open area. Yeah, a nice kind of large open area so everyone can, so you can easily just run around that, maybe throw some chests in the walls or something so you can access some storage. Ideally we want like electronic storage anyway, so we might put like a hub in that central area and like a little like transfer hub in each of our areas so we can access all of our storage items from all of the main rooms of the base. And I plopped down the fancy Tinker's Construct anvil right in the middle of it, so if we have to repair our tools we can just do that. Although I think ideally I want to have like a series of anvils, potentially, maybe if I can make it work with hoppers going into them. It's like, oh, we have to repair our armors. That's the cobalt anvil. So you go there, put it in, repair it. Oh, have to repair my tool. Well, that's, you know, rose gold. I use rose gold because it's the fastest of the materials, curiously. Right, can't charge because there's two of them. You can run away from one, but then the other comes by and hurts you. Alright, so then. I feel like I have to wait for nighttime for that thing to spawn, so that's... sigh. Oh, what if I got this area? Of course, building the new main center area took long enough that I was essentially passing out by the time I was done. So, even though I took down basically all of Azura's machines, I didn't put them back up again before I went to sleep. So Azura messaged me this morning, and she was kind of ticked off that I removed all of her things. But she understood why I did so, and she agrees that the new center area looks nice. Because, I mean, we're trapped underground. There is some claustrophobia to be had, so I dug out a fair bit of space. I think the center area is now, what, 15 by 15 on the inside. So it's an okay amount of space in there. 15 by 15 area. I think the ceiling is 8 or 9 blocks up, so, you know, I can run around and double jump and stuff, and I have some sky blocks up at the top to, you know, make it seem like we're not trapped underground. So, you know, put in some work. I'm trying. Been trying. Of course, yeah, I had to basically take down the whole smeltery to build this thing, because the smeltery was in the way of it, because, yes, it was like 4 blocks away from spawn. And so it's all like, okay, like, I can forgive you for this, but you have to, like, make me my own room for all the smeltery stuff, and make it nice and big. So, I went on and I just spent past, oh, let's see, it's about 8 p.m. now. 6 hours? Oh, gosh. I spent the past about 6 hours making a nice, well, upgrading the spawn area to make it a bit nicer, and building a room for Azura. No joke, like 6 or more hours. Did also have a pony game, but I was kind of playing, well, I was kind of playing both at once because Sailor Minecraft doesn't require much brain power. Although, part of what made it take so long was I wasn't just content with, oh, just plop down some, you know, just dig out a room, here you go, here's your smelter room. Like, no. Plan it out, dig out the space, make it all nice and pretty. I have like prismarine floors with like dark prismarine walls, but I don't actually have prismarine floors. It looks like prismarine floors because of the other mod that I've been having fun with. That allows you to basically just use some planks and some sticks to make frame blocks. And I've been working with the so you can essentially make, was it any type of block that doesn't have a strict use? So like, you know, not chests, for example, into, I want to say, basically any shape that doesn't have a curve. So yeah, that's the general's idea. So you can essentially make any block into any shape. Any block that doesn't already have a use on it into any shape that doesn't have a curve. So I made a hallway that like just slants down at not a 45-degree angle, but like a, what, 22 and a half degree angle, 1 block down for every 2 blocks out. So it's a nice shallow curve for about 20 blocks out, 10 blocks down, and it just kind of stops. And I'm going to combine that into the grass area that I was talking about earlier, so you can go... Yeah, go... Hey, Sarah said that we needed a nice area to do all of our magic stuff in, so I made a place, and I really, really want to find something to make, I really want to find something to make just travel around the base faster. I don't want to, you know, set up like 17 home points to just teleport around. Okay, so that is what's needed, but I still need more. Cool. Hello? I guess I might as well just bite some apples for the next little while. Alright, so yeah, I made a nice area. I figure so I can make some sort of nice big ultra forge, or maybe even multiple forges in there. Oh, but I didn't just set up a room, because, yeah, I did set up a mini forge that the entire purpose is just to make seared stone over and over again. That was meh. I didn't really put much heart into it. I figured 200 or so blocks of seared stone would hopefully be enough to make nice size forge, and personally, I prefer seared bricks anyway, as Zara likes the stone. That's why she asked me to make use of it. It's like, whatever. I mean, if we really, really, really wanted to make more, I could just stop making rose gold in my forge, and it... Oh, I was wondering what was happening outside. Duh, it's a New Year's Eve as of time of recording. It's flippin' 8 p.m. and people are already launching off fireworks. I don't know if you'll be able to hear them because I have the mic set to not pick up subtle audios. So they might be too far away to hear, but if you can hear them, woohoo! Yeah. New Year's Eve, and I'm spending it, I played My Little Pony. Oh. Okay, so you can hear the fireworks, I think. Yeah. Probably should have turned up the mic volume so you could hear them better, but oh well. Yeah. Playing some Minecraft to fix up a little problem that I had made. Oh, wait. The stone, whatever thing. It's not just about turning blocks into the shapes of other blocks, but you can also it's not turning blocks, you make, like, the facade, and then you, like, put down a block on top of it. And you get the properties of the block as well, so if you have, like, glowstone in a weird shape, it still emits light. So I had some nice thing going on where I had, double facade blocks, where it's, like, you know, 2 different blocks can be put into one square. One cube, I should say. It's like bottom half glowstone, top half something else, so it emits light. So I want to test with ice, because I think if you put ice next to glowstone, it will melt. But if I facade ice and use that for the floor of the base, will that melt? And will it also allow us to move faster? And then it's like, okay, well, there's ice, and there's also packed ice, and there's blue ice. Like, and the other thing I can think of is like, well, if I make a beacon, that's my next star. I mean, we already have nether stars. We've already defeated the Wither a few times. We've made a Wither skeleton farm. That was nice. But it's like, okay, well, if I make, like, a beacon, what will that do? Yeah, with the facade blocks, there is a feature that can be implemented in the configuration file where you can make the facade block in, like, you know, whatever configuration you make it in. And then if you right-click on it with a phantom membrane, the block will become intangible. So you can walk through it. And I thought, oh, that would make for a nifty door. Make, you know, like either just a random section of the wall so you'd have to know where it was, or make it like, you know, say what looks like a board off area, but then you can just walk right through it. So it looks like there's like iron bars in the way of getting into the forge. And then you just walk right through the bars to get into the forge anyway. I was thinking, oh yeah, that would be cool. Turns out that's set to false by default. And I can't turn it on because we're playing on a server, not just, you know, one of our own game worlds, so we don't have access to change the config files. And testing with it in single-player creative mode, once the block becomes intangible, it's like that block is no longer there. I don't know how it affects light. I didn't test that much. But, like, you can no longer click on it or anything. I'd have to do more testing on it, but I quickly realized why someone would want to set the, would want to set it like that. Uh, in other news, the uh, the Vancouver convention coming up in just a few weeks. Thing that I'm really trying to binge record a whole bunch of episodes for. Remember that? Yeah. That's coming out in a few weeks. That's happening in a few weeks. And since the general theme is like, you know, tabletop gaming, more or less, there's the idea posted, not by me, don't freak out, of having, how do I want to say it, quests that the players can do. So when you go through registration, you get like a blank character sheet. Then you can potentially, theoretically, I'm guessing here, go to a nearby station and fill out your character. So it's like, oh yeah, boom, boom, strength, dexterity, blah, blah, blah. And then, on the back of the character sheet, there's a whole bunch of quests that you can do. So the quests would be like, you know, go to, you know, the earliest panel on any of the 3 days. Get the early bird quest completed. Or go to the latest panel on one of the first 2 days. Get the, you know, night owl. I keep wanting to call them achievements? Quests? They are quests? We are calling them quests. Even though I'm not entirely certain I can pronounce the word quests properly because I can't hear myself quite well due to these stupid bulky headphones. Regardless. So, one of the quest ideas was have Vanillion, that's me, take a look over your character sheet. Now, I think we're expecting roughly 100 people to show up to this. Like, I think like 100 people have already, like, signed up for this convention. I mean, rather small convention, but I don't really want to look at strangers' character sheets. Especially since they're already getting a request of, like, make your character, like, it could be a case of they have to go to, like, you know, the tabletop gaming room to get their character made. It's like that has, you know, poster on the wall, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, go there, get your character made, and have it approved. But there already is a quest for making your character. And it's like, okay, well, what do the players get? If they, you know, if someone goes through and completes every quest, should they get something? And my thought was, for each quest that they do, they get, like, a sticker to put on, like, the character sheet, whatever. And it's just for the memories. Sticker or stamp, like, you know, people hosting, like, the earliest panels in the day, boom. Yeah, the quest was changed to, play a game against Vanillion with the note, it can be as simple as rock, paper, scissors. And it's specifically just play a game, you don't even have to win. So I'm totally planning on, like, whenever random people come up to me, it's like, hey, rock, paper, scissors! I'm just going to throw rock, but with my fist, like, sideways, so I'm, like, going, like, the bow hoop. Going for a fist bump to those of you, who aren't in the know. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot! Just to see how many fist bumps I can get over the weekend, because I think that'd be hilarious. It's not like I have to win, so might as well go for something funny. I think that's actually, that is a big topic of conversation that I could very well just get into right now, because I still have about half the episode to go. It's not strictly about winning. It's not strictly about having to win every game, so much as it's just having fun with the game. So people might see, something that I get all the time on playing games, like, casually, it's like, oh, why are you doing X? That's so, inefficient. It's like, I would mention literally what I'm doing with this specific game right here on that, but this is supposed to be a challenge run anyway, so maybe it doesn't apply quite as elegantly, but still. It's like, oh, well, why are you only using a watering can? That's so inefficient. It's like, yeah, that's the point. The point is not to be, like, as efficient as possible. The point is, I'm doing something silly and having fun. The point is that these Rune Factory games are so simple that I can play them using only a watering can, an unupgraded watering can as my only weapon, and still win pretty easily. Like, that's the point that I'm making with these videos. Or, what's another game I've been playing? I don't know, maybe I'll play D&D or something, and I'll make a character, and then people will be like, oh, well, if you're a mage, why don't you take, like, this spell, and this spell, and, like, why would you take... I think the classic argument that I've heard is, like, why would a wizard ever take Fireball? With a well-rounded team, they would deal more damage overall if they used Haste instead. And, like, a bit of a topic of discussion. A spell, yeah, because I think, it's another thing, memory is bad. But I think that wizards, I think Haste and Fireball are both level 3 spells for wizards and sorcerers, so wizard can get it at level 5 in 3.5 edition. That's what I'm talking about here. So, Fireball does, you know, not a set amount of damage, but an approximate amount of damage with half damage if the enemy makes a reflex save. So it's like, you know, a decent amount of damage, but it's like it happens, and boom, it's done. So that might kill some, you know, creatures or enemies. It might not. But Haste can give, I think it's up to character level. So 5 party members can get the Haste effect for, I think it's number of rounds per level. As you can tell, I don't use either of these spells often. But you can give, I think it's like 5 characters hit the Haste effect for 5 rounds. So at level 5, that would be 25... Essentially, if the party members are always making use of the Haste effect to take an extra action, that's 25 extra attacks. On average, one could assume maybe half of them hit, if, you know, you have to roll an 11 or greater to hit. That'd be, you know, half of the attacks have to hit. So we can round down, we could say 12 of them hit. Heck, round down a bit more. Maybe we need like a 12 or something. 10 of the attacks hit. That's 10 attacks that would likely be for a bare minimum 2 or 3 damage. Say 1d8 plus like 1 or 2 to the attacking thing. With a well-optimized party, let's see, what? Flail 2d4, so that's bare minimum 2 plus what? 18 strengths. Double-handed, so that'd be bare minimum 8 damage per hit. So that would, even if just 10 of the attacks hit like that, that's an extra 80 damage that gets dealt. Still only use 1 level 3 spell slot. So, you know, I keep wanting to say DPS, but DPS is rather inaccurate, but, you know, total damage output for a well-balanced team, or, you know, well-made team for it, Haste deals more damage than Fireball. But Fireball is more fun to cast. Because Haste is like, hey, allies, do better! I'm just gonna say here. Also, Fireball does all of its damage up front, whereas Haste does, you know, its damage over time. Or, like, say, you're in a party and you don't even have 5 total party members. Haste is not fully effective. Maybe you have 2 fighting characters. Maybe it's like a party of 3. Yourself and 2 others. You haste all 3 of yourselves. You can't really make use of the haste. So that's, what, 10 attacks? And maybe 4 hits? For lesser damage? So, like, there are thoughts to be made about that, but if someone is talking without any of this context, and they say it's like, oh yeah, my wizard just got up to level 5, so I took Fireball, and then someone just goes, oh, why would you take Fireball? Haste is better. It might not be better. Also, sure, actually they might be in a party where Haste flat out would just be the better choice. If they want to take Fireball and use that instead, that is their choice to be made. I remember when I was, like, brand new to 3.5 edition, at least. Not brand new to D&D, but brand new to 3.5, which had a lot more spells than the 4th edition I'd gotten used to playing. And I played as a... I think it was like a... We start out... I think my keyboard is broken. I was trying to make use of it and it wasn't doing anything. So rewind is not annoying to do now. Yeah, whatever. Like, 3rd level, and I was a sorcerer, or maybe 4th level, whatever. I had, like, level 2 spells. And one of the spells that I wound up taking was, like, Ball of Fire. Not Fireball. I think it was Flaming Sphere. I think that's the name of it. Again, I haven't used this spell in years. It's not particularly a good spell, but it seemed like fun. You just summon a big old ball of fire, and with your move actions, you can move it around. If it touches an enemy, it automatically tries to attack them. I think it was like 2d6 damage. It's not much, but it lasts for quite a few rounds. So I think I was able to like just summon it and then just... Alright, each of my actions, I'm just moving and attacking with the ball. Yeah, I think it's uses your move action to move it and your standard action to attack with it. But I could also, like, it can't flank, obviously. It's just a ball of fire. But it also can't really be attacked. So it's like essentially having, what, a level 2 fighter in the party. It's like I changed my mage into a level 2 indestructible fighter. Maybe, yeah. Like a level 1 fighter. For as one spell, yeah. So it's like, okay. Like, yeah, it has its merits. Use the fire to, like, attack enemies. It cannot be attacked back unless we happen to be fighting against something with water, which we never were. So it's just completely fine. But then, of course, we fought against not something made of water, but something made out of fire. We fought against some, like, fire elementals or something. And I didn't have any other attacking moves. I think? Something like that, anyway. No, I think it was, we were, like, mid-fight, I had already used the Flaming Spear, and I was, like, running low on, like, spell slots, so it's like, okay, well, my options are to do this, or to do essentially nothing. And then my character got hit by glitter dust, so I was blind. It's like, okay, well, D&D, sorcerer, animal companion, I have a little birdie. I think it was a bird. Just have it tell me what the enemy is, and I'll run my flaming spear into them. It's like, But of course, my character doesn't necessarily know that the only enemies that are still around are the fire elementals, because she got blinded, and then the fire elementals came in. So it's like, okay, my familiar will tell me where they are, and then I'll try to attack them. I, as a player, know that this is pointless, because the flaming sphere can't deal any damage to them. But I'm imagining that my 3-inch bird doesn't know that fire elementals are immune to fire, and my blind character can't see that these are fire elementals. And I'm also taking a guess that no one has had their characters shout out, "Oh no! Fire elementals are here!" So as far as my character knows, there are still enemies that we are fighting. Even though she got temporarily blinded, she can still try to direct her attack at them. And I figured it's like, hey, this is, you know... Like, yeah, again, I know this is going to do nothing. But this is what makes sense for my character to do. It's not like I'm going to go, "Oh, I magic missile the fire elementals!" You know, because she can't see them and you need a line of sight to use a magic missile. I think that was the case. Any other attacking move that I could use would require me to see my target. It's like, hey, use a crossbow to shoot them. Okay, I shoot somewhere at random. And I'm more likely to hit an ally than an enemy, with how that sort of thing happens in D&D. So it's like, okay, well, my character is blind, and it just so happens that her only one attack that she can do, yeah, it's either, okay, take all the penalties for just firing my crossbow at an enemy that I can't see, or deal with not being, you know, efficient for this turn. It's like, yeah, I'll deal with not being able to do anything, and here's my excuse. And the entire table's like, "That's stupid, you should do something else." Like, yeah, what else would I do? "Oh, I don't know, but you should do something else." Like, why would you... And to circle back around, it's the, "Oh, why would you do that? That's so inefficient." It's like, because there's literally nothing that my character can actually do to impact the fight in a positive way for us. Like, okay, well, what other spells do I have? I have Web. I don't think I should explain why Web wouldn't be effective against fire elementals. I mean, I don't know. If you know about, like, spider webs and stuff, it should be pretty obvious why that wouldn't be effective against a creature who is literally fire. Oh my gosh. And it's like, yeah, right now, my options are to do nothing or to do something useless. So let me get through my turn as fast as I can, so one of y'all can actually do something useful. And I can just sit here. Oh, no, right. I'm trying to remember the other spells I took. I took Continual Flame, because, I mean, you know, 50 gold pieces worth of rubies, make a continual fire, sell it for 100 gold pieces, profit. I thought that would be a thing that I would be able to do, and then every time any sort of shopping came up, it was never, like, roleplay. It was like, okay, what do you want to buy? I want this. Okay, you can buy it. No, it wasn't even that. It was like, okay, shop time, buy stuff. It's like, oh, what can you buy? Whatever you want, just as long as you pay the book prices for it. And it's like, oh, can I sell stuff? Oh, it's like, oh, you can sell stuff at half value. And the more I think about that specific campaign, the more I think it was, the part, like, all the people playing really knew each other and knew what they wanted. Because, like, one, I saw, like, oh, can't I, like, make, you know, continual flame torches and sell them? It's like, no. Someone else saw, like, hey, can I sell this, like, rusty armor? I'll make a charisma check and try to get some gold out of it. And it's like, okay, make a charisma check to sell the thing. It's like, so, you know, the wizard of the party can sell stuff, but the sorcerer of the party isn't allowed to. The player was either playing a bard or a wizard, and I think it was a wizard? I don't know. I just remember that they were the face, and that they used magic, and they were not a sorcerer. I was the sorcerer. Also remember, one part, remember this is literally technically my second campaign, I think, ever, of playing 3.5 edition. One of the first ones ever of D&D where I was not DMing. I had this magical item where I only had like 2 hours of sleep for the night instead of 8. And we were searching for someone in the city. So I figured, okay, I'll do my, you know, 2 hours of sleep. Then I'll go and take those extra 6 hours and just, you know, search around town. See if I can find something. If I find something about them, cool, let the party know. Otherwise, you know, get back when the rest of the party's getting up and we can make our plans for the day. And the team was all like, okay, sure. I don't know if they wound up rolling anything at all. But they said, it's like, oh, as you happen to be walking down an alley, because apparently my character decided by herself that she wanted to go walking down an alley. As you're walking down an alley, you get stopped with someone who puts a knife to your back. And says, like, oh, keep walking and just forget that you're ever searching for us. So it's like, so I'm there like, alright, finally, a clue. All session we haven't had anything, this is at least a clue. So I'm like, alright. I mean, like, the voice had to keep going, so it's like, alright. She'll just, like, give a little nod and, like, keep walking forward. And then she'll, without warning, turn around and then the DM interrupts me to say, oh, your character dies. What I was trying to say was she'll turn around and cast Fireball when she, you know, gets out of the range of it. And, you know, try to blast this guy. Random dude bro to smithereens. I was at least level 5 for that point, and yes, I had taken Fireball. I figured, oh, hey, I'll just blast this guy. You know, loot whatever I can from his corpse that hasn't burned to ash. Oh, shoot, it's after 1 a.m. Ah, whatever. The evening times anyway. Loot whatever I can from his corpse that has not yet burned to ash. Present that to the party, and it's like, okay, hey, here's some information of what we're looking for. But instead what the DM apparently heard was, you walk down the alley, and then you turn around and just go, blah, and just stand there. And then 8 people from the shadows all attack you at once and you die. The DM did not roll any dice for any of this. Did not say, are you sure you want to do this? The DM just said, it's like, oh, you said that you turn around? I don't care what else you're doing. It's like, yeah. Oh, I don't care about what else you wanted to do. Your character is murdered. That's it. No, you don't get to back on this. No, you don't. No, you have to... No, make a new character. One of this might be... Was that the second? The first one, I was playing a sorcerer, like, catfolk. With a super buffed up charisma and bluff. So I had the second one with a third one. Because I remember at one point I was playing an elf or a half elf. Where I think at one But yeah, it's like, oh no, your character dies. That's it. Period. No recovery, no rest, no nothing. Your character's just dead now because you said you turn around, and if you hadn't turned around, your character wouldn't have died. So I don't know why you turned around. I don't know how you got 8 people, 8 extra people to fit in the shadows of an alleyway and didn't even get me a chance to roll, say, spot or nothing. Or how 8 people who apparently all had bows trained on me and I didn't notice a single one of them. If you had said, you walk into an alleyway where you get ambushed by 9 people, 8 of them with crossbows pointed at your face from 8 different directions, and one of them with a knife says, "Keep walking and pretend you never saw me," I would have potentially acted a bit differently. But no, instead it was your character is dead. Roll up a new one. Leave basically stop playing in this session and next week show up with a different character because too bad your character is dead. And it's like, gosh, I hate D&D, right? Like, there's another part where I think it was the session kept getting delayed week after week because the DM was waiting for one specific player to show up with their character for a specific event to happen. And I think, like, I don't know if it was we kept playing in, like, different D&D adventures waiting for that player to show up so we could play their specific adventure, or if it's just, oh, George can't make it? No D&D this week. I don't remember which of those two it was. But remember, the guy finally shows up, and the reason why the DM wanted that player to be there was because he wanted us all to, like, all 5 characters to be hit with magical sleep. And that player was playing an elf who's immune to it. So they are, not being magically forced to be asleep and could, like, rescue the whole party. And then I pointed out, hey, I'm playing a half elf. I'm also immune to magical sleep with the exact wording of, like, that elves have. So my character should be able to save the party as well. And yet you said that my character fell asleep. In fact, I pointed that out when the DM, forced all of the characters into a magical sleep. I said, hey, my character's a half elf. She should be immune to magical sleep. And the DM said, no, just George's character. So, yeah, a group of people who don't follow the rules of the game, notably, which, I mean, nobody follows all the rules of the game, but I was new to the game and I have autism, and that really ticked me off. We'll just kill off player characters. I will point out, I don't remember any other player characters ever dying. It was just that. Just my character died because DM decided, no, I don't like you, or whatever. I'm never going to talk to the person again. I'm never going to be able to talk to the person again, so I'll never know why they just decided your character dies. But in the moment it was, well, it should have been obvious when one random, bloke in an alleyway threatened a level 5 wizard with a knife, or using a knife, that this guy means business and you shouldn't, do anything. And that you should have known that there were a whole bunch of people with readied actions to shoot you in the face if you did anything wrong. But no, I was a noob. How the heck would I know? So basically, ever since then, I've dedicated myself into being not that sort of DM. I think the biggest part is, if you want a specific plot point to happen no matter what, don't. Don't worry about a specific plot point happening no matter what, because either it will happen or it won't. Like, I had a ponies game earlier today, and then, like, I have a lot of plot points that I want to have happen. Yeah, here's the thing. I don't have, like, one plot point, and I'm trying to, like, not plot point. It's not like I have one specific plot line that I'm trying to force the players through every step of the way. It's like, this is what will happen if the players do nothing. Do stuff. It's like, I know what will happen if the players do nothing. And I know why these things will happen if the players do nothing. So I can calculate what will happen once the players do certain things. Uh, you really need. Oh yeah, like Groundhog Day. Say like Groundhog Day. If the player happens to, save the, you know, talk to some random kid trying to climb a tree for an extra minute, then the mom will come out and tell them not to climb the tree, and then, an hour later, they won't fall out of the tree and break their leg. Yeah, it's like a Groundhog Day loop. It's like, I know what's going to happen, and I'll see how, whatever. As a And I really try to not kill player characters as much as possible. And with this pony game, it's really, really flippin' easy to not kill player characters. Uh, so, anyway, that's been going fun. Regardless,